What you're about to hear is not about death. It's about misunderstanding, about how quickly truth can be buried, and how long it takes for it to be found. At 2 o'clock in the morning, Mildred's phone rang. She almost ignored it. No one calls with good news at that hour. When she saw the caller ID, her blood ran cold. It was her daughter's number. This is the story of a mom who received a phone call from her daughter she buried 6 months earlier. Before I continue, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet subscribed and tell me which country you are listening from. Mildred never meant for it to become a fight. She had stood in the kitchen, hands still damp from washing dishes, when Audra burst in holding her phone, eyes bright with excitement. "Mom, there's a concert tonight. Everyone's going. I already said yes." Mildred didn't even need to ask which night it was. "It's a school night, Audra," she said calmly. "Absolutely not." That was all it took. Audra's smile vanished. Her voice rose. Words spilled out faster than thought. "You never let me do anything. You treat me like a baby. I'm not a child." Mildred felt the familiar ache in her chest, fear disguised as firmness. "I'm your mother," she said. "My job is to protect you," Audra scoffed. "From what? Music?" "From the world," Mildred thought. "From people who don't love you the way I do." But she didn't say that. She only said, "The answer is no." The argument lasted 10 minutes. 10 minutes of anger. 10 minutes of slammed cabinets and sharp words. 10 minutes that would echo for the rest of their lives. That night, after Mildred went to bed, Audra waited. She listened to the house settle into sleep. Then she quietly opened her window, climbed out, and disappeared into the dark. She told herself she would be back before morning. Halfway to the corner where her boyfriend was waiting, footsteps rushed behind her. A girl, young, desperate, grabbed Audra's bag and shoved her to the pavement. The world spun. Her knees scraped concrete. Before she could scream, the girl was gone, wallet in hand. Audra ran to her boyfriend, shaking, breathless, crying. "I was robbed," she said. "My wallet. Everything's gone." Instead of concern, his face hardened. "You can't tell anyone," he said. "What? If your mom finds out, you're dead, grounded forever, and we'll miss the concert." Audra hesitated. "She's too controlling anyway," he added. "Maybe you should just leave. Teach her a lesson. Let her see what life is like without you." Those words stuck. Later that night, the girl who had stolen Audra's wallet drove down a dark highway. She crossed the center line. The crash was instant, violent, final. Her face was unrecognizable. The only identification found was Audra's wallet. At 6:12 a.m., Mildred answered a knock at the door. 2 officers stood there, hats in hand, eyes trained downward. "There's been an accident," one of them said gently. Mildred didn't scream. She didn't cry. She didn't faint. She simply stopped breathing for a moment, as if her body already knew what her mind was refusing to hear. They showed her the wallet. They said the name. They said they were sorry. The funeral came and went like a blur wrapped in black. Mildred stood beside a casket that held a body she was told was her daughter, though the face was hidden, damaged beyond recognition. She buried Audra with trembling hands and a heart that shattered quietly, piece by piece. Afterward, the house became unbearable. Audra's room still smelled like her shampoo. Her shoes still waited by the door. Her laughter echoed in the walls. Mildred sold the house and moved away. She couldn't survive where every corner whispered her daughter's name. 6 months passed. Audra, meanwhile, believed she was teaching her mother a lesson. She stayed with friends, then friends of friends. She avoided home out of pride and fear. Eventually, the couches ran out. One night at 1:58 a.m., sitting alone with nowhere left to go, Audra scrolled through her phone. Her mother's number was still there. She almost didn't call. She probably changed it, she thought. She probably hates me. But desperation pressed harder than fear. She dialed. At 2 a.m., Mildred's phone rang. She hadn't slept well since the funeral. She stared at the glowing screen, confused, the number unfamiliar. She answered. "Hello?" On the other end, a voice whispered, trembling. "Mom?" The phone slipped from Mildred's hand. Her knees gave out. Her heart slammed against her ribs as if trying to escape her chest. "Mom," the voice said again. "Please don't hang up. I'm so sorry." Mildred crawled to the phone, hands shaking. "What? What did you say?" she whispered. "It's me," Audra cried. "Mom, it's me." The world tilted. For 6 months, Mildred had mourned. For 6 months, she had believed her child was buried in the ground. For 6 months, she had lived inside a grave of her own, and now, at 2 in the morning, the dead was speaking. Audra sobbed into the phone, confessing everything: the fight, sneaking out, the robbery, the fear, the pride that kept her away. Mildred listened, tears streaming silently down her face. "You were never controlling," she said finally, voice breaking. "I was trying to keep you alive. 10 minutes. That's all it took to lose a daughter. And 6 months to get her back." Some secrets don't stay buried. Some legacies aren't written in wills, but in silence, misunderstandings, and the things we never say out loud. A 10-minute argument changed 2 lives forever. Not because of anger, but because of fear, pride, and love that didn't know how to speak clearly in the moment. If there's one truth this story leaves us with, it's this: say what matters while you still can. Answer the call, and never assume tomorrow is promised. Stories like this remind us how fragile family bonds can be, and how powerful they are when truth finally breaks through. If this story stayed with you, let us know in the comments. And if you believe family secrets shape who we become, subscribe to Family Secrets and Legacies for more true stories that time couldn't erase. Until next time, listen closely. The past is always speaking,